You have to stay very aware, and you need to observe your surroundings. Can you link this word to a word we've learned just now? If you guessed this word, surveillance, you are correct. The answer is surveillance. Right, let's move on to question 5. In question 5, the keyword is here, and rear yards. Okay, rear means back. So, inspectors will focus on blank and backyards. It's very straightforward. You should be able to guess it by now, not just the back, but also the front yard. Very good. The answer is front. Question 6 is slightly trickier. The keyword is the detection site. Okay, so there will be inspections conducted in the front and rear yards of randomly selected properties within about 2 kilometers, blank the detection site. So the origin will be the detection site. Everything starts what? Here. Any guesses? Well, if you've guessed from, you are correct. The answer is from. Very good. Let's go on to the next page. For this page, we first have to remember what you've learned so far. The fire ants can be found outdoors. There will be checks conducted in the front and backyards of homes. So, the clue is here. Will there be any requirement for indoor inspections? What do you think? It's very simple. Using what we know so far, obviously there is no requirement. Alright, that's the answer. There is no requirement for any indoor inspections. For question 8, there are multiple answers. The clue is over here. The inspectors are actually looking for any blank of the red imported fire ants. What is the most suitable answer for this question? If you've guessed for any signs, you are correct. Another answer can be evidence. They are looking for evidence, for signs, okay, of this red imported fire ants. Okay? For question 9, the clue is actually in the same paragraph. Okay, she's worried about the effect of the fire ant outbreak. What's another word for effect that starts with the letter I? This is a very big clue. Very good, it's right below. The answer is the impact. The impact of a fire ant outbreak. Okay? Now, moving on to the next question, we can look over here. It's the impact blank the whole environment. This is a preposition. It is the impact, okay, again the clue is the impact for the previous question, and for this question, okay, 9 and 10. It's the impact blank the whole environment. It's a very easy word, it's a preposition. If you've guessed the impact on the whole environment, you are right. Okay, before we move on to the next question, let's look at a couple of words. This word here, aggressive, means very hostile. And over here, port areas. Port areas refer to seaside areas. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Question 11. In this question, you can see that the inspectors are carrying something about fire ants and how to detect them. Okay, so the keywords here is simply inspectors carrying blank about fire ants. If you want to know more about fire ants, what must you have? The clue for question 11 is that the word starts with the letter I. Any ideas? If you've guessed carrying information, you're correct. Alright, now let's look at question 12 in the next paragraph. The clue will be over here, residents and the control area. Okay, it's talking about the place, so we have to use a preposition. Right? Residents blank the control area. There's a couple of answers here. One of the answers starts with the letter W. This is the slightly harder one, and the other one is very simple, it's an easy word. Okay, it starts with the letter I. Can you guess both answers? Any one of the answers is fine. Okay, again, it's a preposition. If you've guessed inside, you are correct. That's the easier answer, and the harder answer will be within. Okay, so both answers are acceptable. You may choose any one of them. Question 13. The answer to this question is actually a verb. Okay, the nests may look blank, disturbed soil, or a small mound of soil with no visible entry holes. It looks similar to disturbed soil. It's an easy word, it starts with L. And yes, you've guessed it, it may look like. And that's the answer for question 13. On to question 14. First, before I move on with the question, take note that question 14 is very, very tricky. Okay, you have to pay attention. It's the start of a paragraph, so it must be a capital letter. This is a very common careless mistake. Please make sure you check. Anyway, for question 14, it's a conjunction. The DPI said households had been informed the fire ends. However, many they spoke to were unaware of the outbreak. In spite of telling them, many people didn't know about it. Any guesses? Yes, the answer is while. While the DPI said that households had been informed, many of them said that they were unaware. Okay? Alright, we've reached the last question of this passage. Okay, the clue for the question is actually the whole paragraph. Investigations are continuing into how and when the fire ants blank arrived. Okay? What do you think is the answer? When they what arrived? The origin of the fire ants. There are a couple of answers here. You can either use the word which starts with the letter F, or you can use a word which starts with the letter O. For the last question, if you have guessed first arrived, you are correct, and you also can say originally. Both answers are acceptable. Right? Okay, so this is the last question for the paper. I hope you had fun doing this assignment with me. Have a good day.